my own financial challenges. And here I am starting to run a business about money. Can you see the irony in that? So I think vision for me has been one of those things that takes you outside of your circumstances. Because if I didn't have vision, I would not have seen how those two relate. I was at a period in time when I was the most broke in my life. Then I started this business to teach people about money. And it started by one-on-one. And I felt like such an imposter. How many people here still today struggle with imposter syndrome? Yeah. I felt like such an imposter because my circumstances were not speaking to the vision. So if the one thing I want to tell you about vision is rarely do your circumstances speak to your vision. Your vision is always so much bigger than your circumstances. Yeah. Now, so I start doing one-on-one financial planning. And then I've talked to Rose, I've talked to Nemo, I've talked to Steven, I've talked to Peter. I'm doing one-on-one and I'm going to meet them one-on-one where I do their financial plans. I give them a school fees plan. I give them a plan for their businesses. And then I realize, especially when it comes to money, 80% of the problems are the same. So here I am, I'm one person. But I'm realizing, Jill, sorry, I'm going to use your name. Jill needs budgeting, she needs debt, she needs to have financial goals, she needs to understand investment, she also needs tax, she also needs an estate plan. She needs to learn a whole thing, because I think what we discovered at Centonomy and what we teach in the Centonomy 101 class, yeah, is a very holistic approach about money and approaching money, not just practically, but understanding your relationship with money. So when I caught on to that, because it was not just about teaching money, it was not just about the principles of money. It's that as human beings, we all come in with such a different relationship with money. Yeah. I had to have not just Washeke teaching. Maybe I could do part of it, but I needed other people to teach. Yeah. And again, when I keep saying vision is bigger than you, vision has made me build a business that is not just about my skill. So if you're still building a business that is just about your skill, it's going to be very, very, very limited. So I want you to start doing this. Separate what does your customer need from what can you do. So look at the need, don't look at your ability. I think that is take home number one. Yeah. So me, I had to look at what does the customer need? Yeah. Not my ability. And then I realized I had to partner with other people. And that was the first step in me accepting. Because when I started a business, I thought it was all going to be about me. And maybe if I have other people, they just be on, maybe help me on the back end of things, accounting and things like that. Yeah. But no, I needed people who they will be in front of the customer just like me. And I know a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we get so fearful of bringing other people in to play those roles with us because we're so scared of so many other things. So that led to the generation of it becoming a course. So this has led to that specific program, Centonomy 101. It's a personal finance program, has led to, from me doing things one-on-one, yeah, to over 100,000 people to date in my 14 years of business, just in that class itself, over 100,000 people in different ways being impacted by just that one program. And those are the people we've had directly. Let's not even talk about that they go out and help other people, employ other people. So we were talking about probably 500,000 to 1 million people impacted by just that one decision to bring people in and to look at what is needed. Yeah. What I want you to take home, brand is not your logo. It is not your colors. Those things are important. They can complement it. Brand is not going to get an expensive consultant to get you a nice logo. No. What is the experience people have with you? Their companies we say are big brands, but the experience our customers have with them is rubbish. Yeah. So when customers associate you with a good experience, however you will define it, they will be loyal to that experience. Yeah. Articulating vision. So I wrote a book called Making Sense. Now you can see from my personal finance programs, yeah, I wrote a book about making sense. And unlike most books, this is a storybook because it is about my journey with money and people's journey with money, both entrepreneurs who have gone through things with money, where they have come from. I have a chapter called How Douglas Made 10 Million, and Douglas starts us off with his childhood, how he grew up thinking about money. Yeah. And the details are on the screen on how to get it. But why I wanted to bring up the book is, can you see and I'm not lying, yeah? 19th March 2009, I wrote a book. So I just want you, when you have ideas, things that just go through your head. And I did not know how I would write a book. I had never been writing in my life, yeah? But I write a book, and I was debating about names, sensitivity, sensibility. You know, when people tell me God doesn't talk, I can challenge that. God does talk. Sometimes we just don't listen and we don't write it down. 10 years to the date, in 2019, Making Sense was published. 10 years to the date, Making Sense was published. And I only probably started writing the book in 2017. But the book was called Making Sense. You can see the similarity in the names, but I just wanted to leave you with articulate it. And back to vision in progress. I keep telling you versus goal because I cannot argue with your goal. Your goal is your goal. The destination that you're seeing today is your destination. Yeah. But the progress of it, because even writing this book, it started out like almost theoretical, the 5 steps, etc. Then I read it and I was like, actually, this is not what is going to resonate because my brand doesn't speak to that. Yeah. My brand has always been being very relatable and telling the stories that people hear that look like them. So we've got to say, what is that experience? And don't underestimate what you have gone through, both the positive and the negative. They all have a role to play in that experience. So from articulating, it's as you're forming your business. What did vision do for me? Because it was about running a business that is about impact. I want it to transform lives. Yeah. I want also the business to run without me. I had to move from a certain way of thinking. Yeah. First, there's the managerial way of thinking where it's about these are the tasks, this is what needs to be done. It's always about big planning. It's about using the data that exists. It's usually about fear and avoiding failure at all costs. It's always about looking competitive to others. It's always about, and I think entrepreneurs, we put so much effort in trying to think or look like we know everything. If you have a new idea, you first want to get information, you want to plan around it, and then you will act. Yeah. So there's that way of thinking. I call it very managerial. Yeah. But I felt like to be an entrepreneur and to always and to achieve some of the things you're saying that are also important to you, we have to change our mindset. So instead of being managerial, we have to be more entrepreneurial thinking. Managerial is this is the way it has always been done and it will be done this way. Yeah. But entrepreneurial thinking is what problem are you solving? And even leave the problems you're solving for your customers. Even in your organization, go today and say, what problem are you solving? What problem are you solving? You may be solving a problem of systems. You may be solving a problem of finances. But always look at what problem are we solving rather than being so stuck on how it should actually look like. Yeah. So for me, when I realize when Jill comes to my class, she needs to learn all these 12 things about entrepreneurship or all these 12 things about personal finance. So the problem I needed to solve was not that how does Washeke start becoming all those things, because that's impossible. It was entrepreneurial. How do I get people who can teach this and not just teach it, communicate it in a relatable manner? Yeah, that is an entrepreneurial problem to solve. So you are not there. I don't think the role of the vision bearer is managerial. That you can get a lot of people who are good at. This side of the business, let me be clear, is needed. The prediction side. If VAT is due on the 20th, it is due on the 20th. You cannot have somebody who's being creative about the date of VAT. It is what it is. Yeah. But for you as the entrepreneur, a lot of the times your best work is done on this side. What problem do I solve? So the problem is I need to hire somebody and I don't have a budget that speaks to the expertise of that person. That's what you think. Managerial thinking tells you that person will cost this much. Then say, but we still need the skill. The problem that you are actually solving is, I need to have somebody who does my creative work. That may be a part-time employee. It may be an intern. It may be a friend who knows or something about that. It may be someone who works 3 hours a week. Solve the problem. You need cash collected. You don't need an accountant. You need your cash collected. That is not necessarily an accountant. It's someone with good communication skills. So we have to just rewire. And I hope you guys are starting to learn different ways of thinking. Sometimes we think even roles like, I want to hire someone to collect money is an accountant. It's not an accountant. It's somebody with good communication skills and team building and can hustle. It's not actually an accountant if that is the core problem you are solving. Yeah. It is a series of small actions rather than waiting till you have all the answers. It's collecting real data. Like I told you, I just started by talking to people one-on-one. Yeah. And the real value came out. I didn't need to get a consultant to do research for me. Jill told me, Susan told me, Steven told me what they needed. Real data is the data from speaking to your customers, from speaking directly from your customers. Yeah. When you fail fast and fail forward. But what is the lesson from failing? Rather than being so restricted and avoiding failure at all costs, being collaborative rather than holding yourself by this fear of, if I let other people in, they will actually steal my idea. And understanding it's sometimes unknowable. And instead of getting information, it's first act. Then as you act, what are you learning? And then build on what it actually is. When it comes to time, yeah, that's culture for me, because I said, and I wanted to bring in culture because that dictates your organization and how it will run. It will dictate the kind of people you will hire. When I realized I needed this business to run without me, and I'm sitting here now after 14 years, very proudly not the CEO of my own company. So some of you have probably met my CEO, Waithaka, but I'm not the CEO. I'm the founder, I'm the vision bearer, but I'm not the CEO of the company, yeah? But it speaks to, even when you hire people, don't just hire because they have the degree, yeah? You're hiring because their attitude speaks to your vision. So if you want to impact people, like a lot of you have said, then you're not hiring just a salesperson. You're hiring a salesperson, yes, who is also able to understand and adopt that culture of impact within you. So impact starts today. Remember, I keep telling you, vision in progress. Don't wait till the end when you have loads of money to impact. What is the impact you can actually have today? So it's not always about getting others to do what you want to do. And what I mean by here, it's not about, don't have a culture where you have to micromanage people. You have to be the one to have the answers. It's about bringing people into alignment with your vision and with what you're trying to do. I think it's about productivity versus business. And I learned this when I started teaching, because we had to work and continue to work most Saturdays. And for me to be productive, I had to take Monday off because my mind had to rest so that I can deliver. Yeah, I'm in a work that I need to engage with a lot of people. I need to do a lot of thinking. I need to do a lot of creativity. But I couldn't. The world of business tells us be busy 8 to 5 every day. I learned this by taking Monday off and nothing fell apart. In fact, I was more productive. Productivity is about what are the results you want. Go after the results. Don't go after the business. And we really, really like saying to each other, how are you? Where have you been? I'm so busy. Busy is not something, it's not a golden star. You don't get a golden star for being busy. You get a golden star because you have produced results. What are those results? I think after COVID, we are finding that people don't even have to work 8 to 5 every day. People can work 4 hours a day and they are still as productive. Yeah. It's about more of service. And someone said, I want to be of service to other people. So you can have titles in your business for the things people need, but what are you actually delivering? Yeah. As I said, it's about more of a team culture. Let's do this collaboratively rather than employee culture, not having people who are going to have to be told what to do. Maximizing your resources. If you have 100 bob, what is the best use of 100 bob rather than just managing the 100 bob? Yeah. Less hoarding, more sharing. And I mean this, if you want to actually fulfill this vision, you've got to share information. Yeah. Take your team, especially people, take them for company visits. Go there, let them go and see clients, let them talk to clients, because the more people are exposed, the more they're going to be able to help you. So we have to stop hoarding ideas, hoarding people. Of course, you share with the right people. Hoarding financial information. You're wondering why your team don't get that we need to work hard, but you've never actually given them an indication of how much money the business is making. You don't have to show them everything, but they have to feel that they are owners. So as an entrepreneur, you don't want to be the only entrepreneur in your business. You actually want to work with entrepreneurially minded people, people who are problem solvers, okay? More correction and coaching, not just threats. So less instruction and more coaching. And then also, I think my journey has also been a lot of understanding when things fit, yeah, and understanding when to let them go. And then looking at what is going to happen ahead. Like last year, I was telling people, we knew elections was coming. So we don't wait to see what it will do to us. How do you actually plan for that? We went through COVID, but let's not lie that it is the last disaster we're going to face in our businesses or in the world. So what are you doing for yourself financially? Are you saving? What are you actually doing to manage that? So for me, time has been about the most important thing that has directed my time management is, what does productivity mean? And it means different things in different seasons of a life. Whatever your vision looks like, put photos. Yeah, put photos. Because the more you see it, the more your mind. If today you left the house having seen your vision, there's something you're going to do very, very, very differently. Sometimes when I started out, just having seen my vision, that day I'm not going to just spend money carelessly on buying lunch and things like that, because I have looked at the vision. So look at it. And a very powerful thing is to look at it either last thing in the evening or first thing in the morning. So guys, first thing in the morning, don't go into your phone to start being disturbed by the whole world. Just take a few 5 minutes to ask yourself. But the questions are, why are you in business? Over and above that, everybody needs to survive and everybody needs money. Why? It is the same questions I was asking in the beginning of the talk today. And people were talking about impact, legacy, financial freedom. Being time freedom. Why? Just ask yourself, yes, we all need money and we all need to survive. So remove that. Why else are you in business?